Hey, Epsy here, and this is my first video that I'll be uploading, my, return tour, I guess you could call it. And I would like to voice my concerns I have for Destiny 2 coming up this September, as you all know. Now, I'd like to preface this by saying I have already pre-ordered the game, I'm going to be buying the game and playing the game, so I don't want any trolls in the comment section be like, oh, you're going to buy it anyway, so what does it matter? So just get over yourselves. You're not clever or funny. In before Noah comments anyway to be an asshole. Anyway, I don't really have any concerns about what I've seen in the gameplay or any of the new features they've been adding. I think it's all been really great, especially with the more focus on clans and community building. That's awesome. My primary concerns stem from the interviews that have been taken from Luke Smith and what he's been saying about the direction of the game. Concern number one is that the game isn't quite finished yet. In the Kotaku interview, Luke Smith said they were in the last 7 or 8 weeks of development. And I will not pretend to know how long or how much work or effort goes into developing a game. I know it's a lot, but I just don't know. But that just worries me based on the history of Destiny. Saving grace is that they've bumped up the launch date, a reverse delay as Luke put it. I would say as a day one Destiny player, my concerns are justified, but perhaps they're just a bit exaggerated. I just want the game to be finished this time. Now I'm having trouble finding the source, but Luke was quoted as saying that Marasov, the Queen of the Reef, is now just cosplay. And I think this was a misquote. I think what he actually said was that they didn't anticipate the popularity of the Queen, which is ridiculous to me. Just look at her, she's immaculate. And her beautiful jackass of a brother. I think problem being was that they didn't know what they were doing with her. They had no direction. And now with this new game, they have this focus on building a progress in the story and consistency. So perhaps she's just been shelved for now. And she must damn be shelved, because to just brush aside a character with such importance, such influence over the lore, over the origins of an entire race within the game, integral to 2 of the game's expansions, leaving so many questions open in the process, and to just kill a character off that was just had such a fan base behind her is just lazy writing. It would be plain fucking insulting is what it would be. Anyway, on to the darkness. Luke Smith is quoted as saying that the studio had no idea what it was. It was some kind of boogeyman to motivate the players against it or something, you know. Very us versus them, they're evil, we're not, so you should feel justified for shooting them in the face kind of mentality, which was prevalent in the game, and I was hoping they were going to go further with that. I thought it was going to be intentional and have us question our motivations and what we were fighting for, and instead it was literally just a very shallow reason to justify the murder of lots and lots of aliens. Nothing familiar about that statement at all. Nope. Totally unrelatable. At some point in time, the studio actually wanted to lump all of the races together and call them the Darkness, and that's even seen in their tooltips, but Luke made it clear that's not the direction they want to go at all, and the game deserves better, so that's good. In Destiny 2, they are deliberately telling a story about the light. Again, back to that focus on progression and consistency they want in their game. So it's not gone, but as Luke put it, it will have a time and a place in the game. But I've been waiting 3 years for them to reveal what these black pyramids are, because they're totally the darkness. And also we've been fighting the darkness for 3 years. So it's kind of annoying that they haven't done anything with it yet. I'm also worried about the game becoming very theocratic, especially with the focus of the game being on what it is to be chosen, and then with Zavala's backstory, which was talking about how we were chosen for a reason by a power greater than ourselves, and how we are drawn towards the light. It's a bit worshipy. I know me and my friends don't trust the Traveler for shit, and if you read into lore, you shouldn't. We were hardly chosen for some greater purpose. My final concern is Luke's comments to PC Gamer about the Exo Stranger. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have heard it, but he was quoted as saying, "I feel that's one of the characters where we actually wrapped up the arc. She gave you a sweet gun and then dissolved. Of all the characters we introduced and exited, we actually exited her effectively." Is that a fucking joke? Are you kidding me? There's so much more shit. Okay, so I'll give you that you exited her the most effective of any other character in the damn game. Sure, yeah, but that's because all the other characters had shit exits. And that's not even true, because the Taken King happened, and Oryx happened, and we fought him throughout the entire campaign. You gave us lore pages on his entire backstory, up into us defeating him in the raid, and then we beat him, and he was the whole cinematic thing. That was an amazing exit. That was amazing character progression up to the end. She's been around since vanilla Destiny. She was the first interesting, enigmatic character, and then she had an exit which was shit. Just Everyone hated it unanimously because she answered none of the questions we had about her. All she did was point us in the direction we needed to go next without actually telling us what the hell was going on. Like, who is she? What about her implications in the lore? How does she use time travel? Was she part of that first scientific team on Venus that investigated the Vex ruins? Was she the first Exo? Who was she talking to? What are those things we wouldn't believe? What is her and her team's objective? Who the fuck was she talking to? What does the soon inscription on the inside of the no time to explain mean? Like, what do we know about her? What was her point or purpose in the game? She might as well have not been there. We could have been directed by literally any other NPC in the game. I don't know why they put her in the game for this purpose if she didn't have a greater one later. Okay, so I don't doubt Destiny 2 will be excellent, or else a complete title compared to Destiny Year 1. It will likely have a well-rounded, if not compelling, story with a lot of epic cinematics and plucky banter, and maybe even some interesting character development. I do, however, doubt the game's depth, given the above, and I fear we have left behind everything we knew before. Like, this feels like an entirely new game in a completely different universe where we've left everything we knew behind. And in a game like this, where we have so many unanswered questions, it worries me that they're just going to retcon what made the game compelling and interesting completely out of the universe. Alright, I'm likely going to do another video on, like, maybe mechanics and what worries me, or maybe even some good things I like about the game later, but what do you guys think about what I've said, or what are your concerns about the game as it comes up? Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content or would like to see more. Check out my other videos, and I will see you next time.